When you reach for that familiar jar of peanut butter, you might think you're making a wholesome choice. A quick energy boost, a nostalgic comfort, a classic pairing with jelly or apple slices. But beneath the creamy or crunchy surface lies a spread with a dark side, one that's all too often overlooked. Peanut butter, as it's commonly found on supermarket shelves today, can be considered a pure evil spread when we take a closer look at its nutritional profile, ingredient list, and the potential health consequences of regular consumption. Let's start with the basics. Calories and fat. Peanut butter is the grim reaper of all the foods, containing enough fat to destroy your liver function within a very short amount of time. As the clock is ticking towards midnight for your health, it's important to understand that this vampire made of peanuts, hydrogenated oils, and added sugars is extremely dense in calories. Just 2 tablespoons, a serving size many people easily exceed, can contain nearly 500 calories. Consumed mindlessly, it adds up fast. Most of those calories come from fat. In fact, over 70% of the calories in peanut butter come from fat. What truly sets many peanut butters apart from more natural food sources, however, is the array of additives and chemicals manufacturers use to create the smooth, shelf-stable product millions recognize. Emulsifiers are added to keep the oils from separating, but these aren't always benign. Some emulsifiers have been linked to digestive issues and even disruptions in gut bacteria, which are crucial for overall health. Anti-flavorings are sometimes used to mask the natural bitterness of peanuts, making the spread more palatable but also more artificial. Food colorings often used in peanut butter are linked to cancer and dementia, and to many other fatal issues. Perhaps most concerning are the preservatives and sodium compounds, like sodium nitrate, that can find their way into processed peanut butters, while sodium nitrate is more commonly associated with processed meats. Some cheaper brands use it, or similar preservatives, to extend shelf life. This additive has been linked to increased risk of certain cancers and other health issues when consumed in certain quantities. The sodium content itself is another problem, as peanut butter can be surprisingly salty, further contributing to high blood pressure and heart disease risk in those who eat it regularly. And then there are the unhealthy types of sugars. Many popular peanut butter brands add significant amounts of unhealthy sugar to their recipes, turning what should be a savory spread into something nearly as sweet as chocolate hazelnut spreads like Nutella. In fact, some peanut butters contain sugar levels that rival those of dessert spreads, making them far less healthy than they appear at first glance. This added sugar is a hidden trap, spiking insulin levels and contributing to the modern epidemic of metabolic disorders. Trans fats are another sinister ingredient lurking in certain jars of peanut butter, especially those labeled as partially hydrogenated. It has been found that a 50-gram serving can contain up to 2 grams of trans fats. This is a big deal. Trans fats are so dangerous that health authorities worldwide recommend keeping intake as close to 0 as possible, ideally suggesting you'd consume far less than 1 gram per day. Trans fats raise bad cholesterol, lower good cholesterol, and dramatically increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, cancer, fatty liver disease, a quick way to obesity, sleep apnea, and even sudden death. The presence of these fats in peanut butter is particularly alarming, especially since most people are unaware they're consuming them. Peanut butter's effect on insulin is another cause for concern. Because of its high fat and sugar content, it's a heavy load for your pancreas. The combination of simple sugars and fats can trigger an insulin surge, especially when eaten in large quantities or paired with other refined carbohydrates like white bread or cookies. Over time, repeated insulin spikes can wear out your body's ability to regulate blood sugar, paving the way for insulin resistance and, ultimately, type 2 diabetes. This risk is not just theoretical. Studies show that diets high in processed, fatty and sugary spreads are linked to higher rates of metabolic disorders. But the dangers don't stop at calories, fats, and sugars. Highly processed peanut butters are often far removed from their natural origins. The peanuts may be roasted at extremely high temperatures, creating toxic compounds known as advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which accelerate aging and contribute to inflammation throughout the body. The processing can also introduce trace levels of aflatoxins, toxic substances produced by mold that sometimes grows on peanuts. While regulatory agencies monitor these levels, chronic exposure, even at low doses, can be harmful to your organs, bloodstream, and cells, especially in the conditions in which peanut butter is usually made. All these factors combine to make the most popular forms of peanut butter less of a health food and more of a metabolic hazard. For children who are especially vulnerable to the effects of salt, bad types of sugar, and dietary fats, regular peanut butter consumption can set the stage for lifelong health issues, including obesity, certain cancers, and cardiovascular disease. For adults, it can quietly undermine efforts to maintain a healthy weight, stable blood sugar, and a strong heart. It's tempting to think of peanut butter as a harmless staple, but the reality is far more complicated. Behind the smooth marketing and familiar taste lies a spread packed with unnecessary additives, fats, excessive white sugar, and hidden dangers for your body's delicate metabolic balance. While pure natural peanut butters made from nothing but ground peanuts do very rarely exist, the vast majority of what's available on store shelves is a heavily processed product designed for taste and shelf life, not your well-being. So, the next time you consider reaching for that jar, remember what's really inside. The calories, processed sugars, and fats are just the beginning. The additives, trans fats, chemically made additives, and other terrible ingredients make it a massive threat to your health, not a friend. By recognizing the true nature of this so-called staple, you can make better choices for yourself and your family, opting for whole, natural foods that nourish rather than harm. Peanut butter, as it's commonly produced and consumed, is truly a spread with a sinister side. A pure evil spread hiding in plain sight.